Hey guys, I'm walking through this thriving community here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, in the area called Sonoma Ranch. It's a very sought after neighborhood. They love the community that is built on sustainability, luxury, and people say they get a sense of real belonging. And this is the home that we're gonna show today. Beautiful home, I just wanted to show you. It's right up against a golf course as well. So if you like just walking, hiking, I mean, this would be a really nice home, and I can show you that over there on that side. Look. Yeah, if you are looking for a beautiful home in an affordable city, this is the home for you. Let's get inside. Now guys, those of you I know that don't like HOAs, but this home does have an HOA of $132 a year. Yeah, $132 a year, so it's not bad. That is good sometimes because the neighborhood looks so clean, right? And it's not that expensive. So this could be an office. You guys tell me in the comments, what would you use this for? Really nice wood. And I don't know if you noticed, but these doors are real wood as well. So are these. Oh, look at that, another closet. You have two good sized closets with a lot of built-ins. Love it. Let's go to this room out here, and you guys can tell me what this room is. I would say this is a sunroom. If y'all like, I don't know, plants and stuff, that'd be really nice here, right? I don't know, maybe an exercise room. Yeah, but you guys can tell me what you guys would do with this room. So one of the clients we helped just move. They're here for about a month. They've been in the heat. It is warm. Remember, they've seen the storms, they've seen the dust. They say they absolutely love it. They love it. They love the affordability of the city. Without even knowing the city, they have visited before, but they say they can easily find their way throughout town without even using GPS. So that's another thing I wanted to share with you all. You can easily adapt to Las Cruces, New Mexico. So now remember, it does have over 3,000 square feet. So if you'd like to, make another room, you can. Let's go into the kitchen. Many ways to get into the kitchen. Granite countertops. You guys love cooking, I know I do. Well, I also love eating more than cooking, but we still gotta cook, right? you notice over there? Let's go to that corner over there. Nice dining area. And it has a wet bar, guys. Another sink. Cool feature for your wine, right? Glasses. Yeah, guys. And did you all notice the skylight? Look at that skylight. It's gotta be at least 4x4, maybe even bigger. It looks humongous though, bringing all this natural light. Hey guys, my name is Cesar, my wife is Tanya, and we would love to help you move to Las Cruces, New Mexico. Yes, we are realtors, and we'd love to help you make a smooth move. And basically, I mean, we are always helping people that reach out. Thank you all for reaching out. And you let us know how we can make your transition even easier. I love these perennials. They are on a drip system. You do have a fireplace out here, and then you're up against the golf course. That's the neighborhood right there. See how the houses are going up, staggering? Let's see the side of the house. That way you guys can view the whole house. I love that it's on a drip system. You don't have to worry about it. It is a desert look. We have had rain. That's why it's kind of wet, which is fantastic. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? What do you like? Do you like the house? Do you really like the house? If you do, reach out to us. There are many homes in this community that people just love because of the way it makes them feel. And the only way to find out is if you come and visit Las Cruces, right? Don't worry about tornadoes, don't worry about hurricanes, don't worry about earthquakes. So just a little hot. $549,000 for this beautiful 3,120 square foot home. Don't leave, I'm gonna do a little drive of the community. So let's go. You may be asking yourself, what am I doing up here? Well, first of all, I wanted to show you the beautiful views of the mountains. So I want to show you why an inspection is so important. Let's start here in the roof, and we have one of our inspectors here from Las Cruces, very experienced, very well liked, likable man, Eliseo Ramirez. Eliseo, can you tell us what company you're with?
Hey, I'm with Desert Sky Inspections.
Awesome. So Eliseo, let me ask you, what are you looking out for in a roof inspection?
Right, so we want to make sure that there's no obvious damage, let's say hail damage. And the way you can see that, you look at the shingle, make sure there's no scratches. These are made of metal, so you will be able to see the dings. So we look out for that. Also, that this boot around it is nicely sealed. This one is a good example, looks very good. So sometimes you have these other types of boots. These are good. Sometimes people see them, they think it's plastic, that they think it's low quality, but no, these are very good, up to code. And like this one, you want this boot underneath the shingle. So this one looks good. They have some nails right here. So they covered them up, which is good. I think what happened here is there was some cracking around it. And see this, it looks a little different. They patched it up. And that's usually how they fix this.
So is all that part of maintenance?
Yes.
Woo, there you go, right? This is super important as far as maintaining your roof. Cracking around certain areas like that, you don't want water to get in there, right? So that's super important. That's why we call the professionals like Eliseo. What's the name of your company?
Desert Sky Inspections.
Desert Sky Inspections. Now remember guys, those of you that are moving from out of town, the majority, we're experts on helping buyers move to Las Cruces, and we have Eliseo for you ready to rock and roll and do inspections for you. That's another thing you do not have to worry about, because I will be here on every inspection with our inspectors so it can get done right. Okay, Eliseo, anything else that we need to see or that you can educate us on?
Yeah, let me show you over here. Flashing is very important on a roof. It's basically a metal channel that connects between a wall and a ceiling. So you see down over here, you have a part of the wall, and then you have the shingle.
Okay.
Here, we don't see a visible flashing.
Okay.
And that's okay because you have a roof on top of that.
Okay.
But if this was exposed, you would definitely need a flashing right there.
Cool, all right. Guys, in this video, I am learning a lot. I'm just trying not to fall off. But anyways, let's keep going. What
I do as an inspector, and people might think that I'm going crazy, but I'm not. I just walk around. What I'm feeling for is that there's no soft spots.
Oh, okay.
So a little bit of bounce, it's normal. But if you get to a place where it's real, soggy, yeah, that's a problem.
Woo! No soggy roofs. We don't want too much flexing on the roof. That may indicate that there was a previous water problem, and that's not good. All this I'm learning from Eliseo.
Yeah. So if I feel that, the next step, once we go inside and there's an attic access, I'll go in there, I'll crawl in there. It's a lot of fun, and I'll check it out. And most of the time, if I feel a soft spot out here, I go in there in the attic, and most probably there was some water damage or just some structural defect. So we'll look out for that. Nice, guys. All right. Anything else we need to know about the roof? The roof is the most important part of the home. You know, you want a roof over your head that's gonna last. So, and a roof is expensive. So you wanna make sure that it's good, that it's solid, and that it's gonna keep for years. And if it's not, we'll call it out on our report so you know. Right. So, this is wonderful, guys, because even on new construction, we always encourage you to get an inspection. Super important, no matter what, even if they're new. All right. So on the outside, we also check your electrical outlets, that it has a waterproof cover like this one. And then I also use one of these so it can tell us if there's any open neutrals, and that could be a fire hazard. So just plug it in. So like this one, it's an open hot, means that the outlet is not working. So we'll call this out.
You know, guys, my phone actually overheated. So once he finished explaining the receptacle, the phone said no more. We got too hot for it up in the roof. Can you believe that?
So we were checking for several things. Looking at the stucco or the exterior of your home, it's very important. Like this one, there's no cracks. I look for any damage. You have some right here, but that's not bad. You can patch that up, no problem. Also, I look for any water damage, especially down here. You can hear it. You can probably see it bounce around a little bit. And so there's a little bit of water damage right here. But again, that's normal because it's so close to the ground. So we just want to keep an eye on that. I'll call it out on the report as just something to watch out for.
Wonderful. Okay, what about the air conditioning?
Again, we make sure there's no visible damage to the outside. Again, any hail damage or mechanical damage is very obvious. You'll see the dings. You know, check for anything out here. Also, since we have the drainage out here, we just make sure that it's not touching the wall because we don't want water damage. So preferably, it'd be good if this was a little bit further away from the wall.
Okay.
We'll look for that. For these lines, make sure there's no visible kinks. And then we make sure on this label right here that our breaker or our cutoff switch over there, it matches the amperage for here. This is a 40 amp. I checked it over there, it's a 40 amp. So,
nice, so it's good.
We don't want the water coming down to the foundation. We want it rolling away from the foundation. So if you see up to the front, it is running down to the street, which is really good. The gas meter. So this one looks great. It looks like it was just installed not too long ago, or maybe the gas company replaced it. But what I always do, I use one of these gas leak detectors. And it's just something extra. The standards for a home inspection don't call for this, but I like to do it just for peace of mind. So I just, go around and make sure that there's no leaks. This little device will detect if there's any leaks. It'll beep.
Wow.
And we also use our nose. We make sure that even though natural gas doesn't have a smell, but if you're this close and there's a leak, you will be able to sense it.
Okay. So you do this above and beyond, guys. This is above and beyond. He does this out of the kindness of his heart because he wants, peace of mind that there is no gas leak. I love that. Thank you, Eliseo.
So now we're gonna check one of the other more important parts of your home, the electrical system. So we're gonna check the panel. First, what I do, just for safety, make sure there's no voltage anywhere around it. I don't want to get shocked. So now we're gonna open it up. Everything is visual first. So make sure there's no water coming in, there's no rust, there's no bugs. And so this one looks clean, which is very good. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off this dead front cover so I can look at the wiring inside. Now what we're looking for is we don't want any breakers to be double tapped. That means that you have two conductors, two wires coming into the same screw on your breaker right there. So I'll just take a look, go one by one. Some breakers are meant to do that, like this one, so that's okay. And now we check the grounds and the neutrals. If this breaker box was inside, it would be considered a sub panel, and we wouldn't be able to have the ground, the white wire, the neutral, the white wire, and the bare wire, which is the ground. We wouldn't be able to have them on the same bus. So this is fine because it's the main panel, so we can have it like this. But inside, if there's another one, it can be like that, right? So I like to check just that there's no light coming in. That means there's air leaking in or out. There's dust gonna be coming in. So if there's any light, I'll call that out. And then also I'll just play with it a little bit, make sure that it latches.
Okay, and he does that with every door, guys. I can't show you every door, but right now he's making sure all the lights turn on and off in the house.
So then I check for, again, all the outlets. I look at the walls, the ceilings. Water is the #1 cause of damage for a home. So I'm always looking for water damage, water intrusion anywhere in the ceiling. I look at the windows because that's usually a spot where water likes to come in. So I'll take a look And then I also check the windows, just make sure that they're operational, the floor. So it's a thorough visual inspection. So I also wanted to tell you about this again. It's something that I just do additional, but I think it's a great thing to do. I just carry around this little gadget. It's a carbon monoxide detector. And so it's on the whole time I'm in here. So outside, inside, when I call in the attic. And so I'm not even thinking about it, but if it beeps, I know there's carbon monoxide. So it'll keep me safe, but also call it in the report so they can check it out.
I go through many inspections with different inspectors, and they're not carrying around a carbon monoxide detector. This is above and beyond. This is what he additionally gives his clients when they use him. Whew, that's why we highly recommend Eliseo.
So now we're gonna check the AC system, that it's cooling. So now I have a little thermometer here. All right. So of course that's gonna be a lot colder than the air in the home, but that's what we want.
Cosmetic stuff though, some of the inspectors will call it out, some of them won't. It just depends, you know, but yes, they're very thorough.
Right now I'm just looking at all the electrical components. So I'm gonna check the lights, I just did, making sure the appliances are on. Of course, I'll check the outlets. And then as I'm going along, I'm also checking the walls. And I'm looking for any bowing in the wall, on the ceiling, there any cracks. So I'm always on the lookout for anything like that. So I'm checking that it has the tipping over mechanism, that it's safe. So I just do that gently, so make sure that it's not gonna tip over. And then also, I turn it on for the oven. So we preheat it just to make sure that the oven is working. So I'll turn it on, I'll do some checking, and then I'll come back maybe 10 minutes later just to make sure that it's working. And then I'll try the range. Make sure that all the burners are working.
I'm finding out they do a lot, guys, to do thorough checks. I mean, it can be 2 hours minimum, you know, that they do, depending on the size of the home, obviously, because if it's a larger home, it's gonna take them a long time to go through all this. And, you know, I wanna thank Eliseo for letting me tag along because, you know, I'm actually really taking his time because he has to go through it and I'm stopping him and he has to explain.
So now we're gonna check the disposal, and then there's hot water coming out. So again, my trusty thermometer that I use to check the vents, I also check for hot water. So we're at about 81, so it's heating up. Yeah, so
the water heater works.
The water heater works. We're still gonna check the water here right now, but we just wanna make sure we have hot water here. And then I always look underneath the sink, make sure we don't have any leaks. So I just look around, see if there's any damage to this bottom piece. That tells us that there was water damage. And also leave the water running. So make sure we don't have any leaks from this area. And then also look at the electrical cord for the disposer. Make sure that it's strapped. It's right here. All right, looks good. So now we're checking that it's working. So we use our senses. So we listen. If there's any, you know, weird noise, if it's too loud, I'll call that out. And then also I'll just operate it. I'll do a light wash and make sure that when it's washing, that it stays locked. If it's not, it's damaged. And then I'll just let it run, and I'll be like listening out for when it starts draining, and I'll come back over here and check there's no leaks for the drain line. So I'm just checking for water flow, that it's not too slow. It's good water flow, also temperature. And then I put the closer just to make sure that the water stays in there.
Okay, so what you'll do is you'll fill it up and make sure the water stays in there.
Exactly. And after you have some water in here, I let this open, and I just watch for the drainage. If it's slow, that means there's a clog somewhere.
So that's fantastic because, you know, you want to come into the home and know what's functional and what's not. Like if it's not draining fast, then you know it might be just a bunch of hairs there that are clogging it. Maybe a toy, I don't know, whatever it may be, but that's good for you to know before that because it also helps with negotiations, right? Whatever the inspector finds, that's another big thing for you as a buyer. So what are you checking for now?
Just that it operates correctly, that it's not hard to operate, that you have good flow. And if you have something like this where you have your shower with a hose, I just make sure that both operate. So I'll just use the controls here, make sure that it's working like that. All right, so we're gonna check your appliances, your washer and dryer. So first I check, again, water damage. So we have the water over here and the drain. Make sure that there's no mold growing and there's no leaks. So looks good on this side. And then also check for the dryer, our vent. Very important, because it could be a fire hazard if it's bent too much. If you have a lot of lint back here, it could be a fire hazard. So I just make sure on that. We're making sure that there's no water damage, and we don't have any leaks. Also, if I was doing an additional service like a mold test, I would be checking definitely here. I'd be tapping everywhere, make sure there's no mold growth. And also, I would be checking down here. I have a scope camera that I would send down here to make sure there's no mold. But that's an additional service if the customer needs that. What I also check for is termites. I'm not a licensed termite inspector, that's in the works, but I do check if there's any signs, any clues that there might be termites. So I'll check anywhere where I could think they would be. Also on the outside, I'll check around. And if I do see something, I'll definitely call it out in the inspection for you to get a licensed termite inspector to come out and check it out, because that could also be a big problem. All right, now let's walk into the garage. It's nice and warm in here. So now we're gonna check the different life safety parts of a garage. So this door should automatically close. We have to have a self-closing hinge. So this one's not closing. That tells us this hinge is not working. And you can tell that it's damaged. So I'll put that in the report. These sensors, we want to make sure that they're working. So there's a very high-tech way to check them. So I'm going to close the door.
Ooh, high-tech.
Here's the technology. They work. And now we get an error message right there. It's working fine. So now we're going to check the water heater, different components. So this valve, the pressure release valve, we want to make sure that it's draining somewhere. So it is. That's very good. A lot of times you'll see these valves that they just have a pipe running down to this pan, and that doesn't really do anything, because if it overflows, you're gonna have water damage. But this is the way it should be done. So again, I have my gas leak detector, so I'll check here for any leaks. And again, that we don't have to check for that, home inspectors, but it's just additional for peace of mind. Then we also check for anything that has to do with code. So this pan is important for it to be here. And also, you probably can't see it from there, but it has to drain somewhere outside. So right there, that's good. That's up to code. Also, you need to have ventilation. And then again, we're also checking for any water damage. And then I'm also gonna step up here and then just take a look up here.
So you get a thorough inspection with Eliseo. I mean, I'm hoping you like this video. I know it's very different, but I want you to see that, you know, most of you are not here when the inspectors come, and I have to be here, and I personally will be here for all of you that are from out of town, because, you know, if you can be here, great, but I'm your eyes and ears down here. I will do whatever I need to so everything goes smoothly.
So we're about to start my favorite part of the inspection, going into the attic. So there's different important components in there, like part of your HVAC system is in there. And then we're also gonna check for your insulation and for any water damage. So
just out of curiosity, can you do the temperature to see how hot it is in there?
Sure, let's check it out. 157?
He's willing to go in at 157 degrees where you can't breathe, there's insulation, fiberglass. Why would you not hire Eliseo? I mean, this guy's a beast.
Up here in the attic, we're checking for your HVAC system, that your ducts are well sealed. Your electrical system this is not a code inspection, but that it follows a city code or a state code. We also look at your sheathing, your plywood, and see if there's any water damage. Also, we look for your insulation. We also check if there's any pest infestation for mice, bees, birds, even raccoons, right? So after a thorough inspection of the home, I feel good in saying that it's following code. Even though this is not a code inspection, I'm not a state or a county inspector for codes, I can tell you that the builder did his job well. Also, it's been kept in good shape. I can't tell you to buy the home or not, but I can tell you if there's any problems, and this home doesn't have any big problems. So that's very good news.
All right. Hey guys, thank you. If you're moving out to Las Cruces, please reach out to us. If you have any questions, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, and Eliseo is going to be here for you when you are ready to make that move.
Super realtor right here. He climbs ladders for you.
I'm glad I did not fall off. Let's go.
Your phone got too hot because the inspector is too hot.